Welcome back to the FTN NFL Team Preview Series hosted by Boom Fantasy, your top choice for daily sports action. Boom Fantasy, most innovative games cater to casual and hardcore fan. Win up to 500 times that entry only at Boom Fantasy. You can download it App Store, Google Play. Use that promo code FTN to get a no-sweat bonus up to $100. And today we go to Tennessee. The only person I go to, he's a favorite here in the NFL Team Preview Series, Jim Wyatt on X at JWyatt Sports. He's covered the Titans since 1999. We always get him. He's on the move. He's got great insight, but he's joined us for a few minutes here. Jim, I appreciate you joining us. Let's get right into it. In the backfield here, Tyjae, Spears, Tony Pollard coming over. Spears was very active, very productive last year, but obviously no Derrick Henry. Break down how you think the backfield's going to look this year with the new addition of Tony Pollard.
Well, it's going to be interesting. It'll be different than anything I've seen. I've covered this team since '99 and went from, obviously Eddie George to Chris Johnson to Derrick Henry, and before that, I know Earl Campbell, and it seemed like there was one back that dominated the carries and dominated the workload, and you kind of knew who was getting the ball when you faced the Titans. Now it's going to be different, and a lot remains to be seen in a new offense. I know they have stressed throughout the offseason. It's more about touches than it is about carries, because these guys are going to catch the ball out of the backfield a lot. I think Spears, as you mentioned, showed flashes last year with a greater opportunity. I think he's going to take advantage of those. But Tony Pollard has done it in the league for a while, and I've been impressed with what I've seen from him this offseason. I really think it's going to be a 1-2 punch, and I think it's going to be pretty even as far as carries and catches. I think it's going to be sometimes just a matter of riding the hot hand in games and who's kind of in the flow of the game that Sunday.
Let's look at quarterback. Of course, Will Levis looking to develop here, made some plays last year. And what the Titans did, which I love, bolstered the room for wide receivers here. You have Tyler Boyd, who's been super productive with the Bengals. You bring Calvin Ridley over, still have DeAndre Hopkins. And I know trying to get more out of Chigo Kongwu as well. So talk about the passing attack as a whole here as it's revamped. Coaching staff coming in, Will Levis looking to make that jump here as their franchise quarterback.
Yeah, and I think what's important is they bolstered in front of them too. You go out and get Lloyd Cushenberry at center. You draft J.C. Latham, to play left tackle. Will Levis got hurt and hit way too much in his rookie season. So to give him an offensive line that he can protect, Bill Callahan is here too under Brian Callahan, and I think he'll get that offensive line to a point where they can give him time to throw, and then he has weapons. I mean, as much as the Titans have done, and as you mentioned some of their big moves, they've got to be able to rely on their young quarterback to take a big step. It's still a work in progress from what I've seen this offseason. He's getting comfortable with the playbook. He's getting comfortable with new guys around him. I think going into camp, that's going to be the focus, is trying to get some chemistry with got it with Hopkins already, but with Ridley and with Tyler Boyd and with new backs catching the ball out of the backfield, like what I've seen from Levis. And I think the potential is there for this receiving core to be really good. It's the best core since I've covered the team, and that's 25 years. And now they got to keep these guys healthy and give him a chance to distribute the ball for them to make plays.
You mentioned Brian Callahan bringing over his father as well, who's an incredible offensive line coach. Talk about what you've seen, what you've heard from Callahan in his first year. Obviously, offensive line should be better, and that's going to be critical, like you said, to protect Levis here. So what have you seen from the new coaching staff across the board? We'll get into the defense in a minute right after this.
Yeah, I've watched more O-line drills in this offseason than I probably have in the last 25 years. I mean, at least during OTAs and the offseason program, I find myself watching when I go out there. I watch Bill Callahan and I watch what he's preaching, and I watch the fundamentals and the new drills he's put in place. And these guys have certainly developed just in the last couple of months. I think it's going to be a solid group. I think Brian Callahan has been very relatable to his players. I think he's been a breath of fresh air as far as his offensive philosophy and just how he coaches. I've been really impressed with him, and obviously he's got a great background from his days working in Cincinnati or Detroit or way back in Denver with Peyton Manning. Spent some time with the Raiders. I mean, he's been around some good quarterbacks And I think he's ready for this, and I think he is going to bring a different look to a Tennessee offense. People are so used to just turn around and hand the ball off to the running back and trying to wear teams down. I'm not going to say this team's going to throw it every play, but I think you're going to see a lot more throws on first down. You're going to see a lot less predictable offense under Brian Callahan.
Jim, as always, great insight. We'll get you out of here. Last question. Talk about the defense, of course. Rush defense, always elite here in Tennessee. But we look at strength of schedule this year. Per Vegas projected win totals, you have the Titans as the 6th hardest schedule. And we broke it down here at FTN. Also very difficult non-conference strength of schedule. So talk about the defense. Can it maintain that strong foundation, get stronger in the pass attack as you go into a challenging schedule here in 2024?
Yeah, I think so. And it has been interesting to see some of the predictions. I've seen people predict the Titans 3-14 and seen a couple of, I think I saw a 2-15. So despite all the moves that this team has made this offseason, still this team has something to prove. And I get it. This Titans have lost 18 of the last 24 games. They finished 6-11 last year. It is a new coaching staff with a lot of new players, and you can't snap your fingers and expect everything to be better. But I do think this team has a chance to contend in the AFC South. Denard Wilson, the new defensive coordinator, has some new pieces to work with. He's been preaching a more aggressive style of play. They're not going to blitz every play, but I think you're going to see him, creating some problems for the offense. They've got to find somebody that can step up, and try to offset Danico Autry's presence. He's been so good here for the last couple of years now. He's with the division rival in Houston. So, Arden Key, Harold Landry coming off the edge and needs some help. Rashad Weaver, maybe he's that guy that can step up the game. Jeffrey Simmons is still there. Drafted Tavondre Sweat. Need him to top some offensive linemen to free up some other guys to make plays. Secondary's better. Chidobe Awuzie, L'Jarius Sneed. I mean, there are some pieces here where this group should be better, but kind of like the offense. When you have this many new pieces, it's going to take time for these guys to all get on the same page. And now we'll see how quickly this team can do it.
What doesn't take time is getting a recap here in a short period of time from Jim Wyatt. Best interview we have, folks, on X at J Wyatt Sports, covered Titans since 1999. Jim, you're always on the move. Great insight as always. Love to catch up with you in August as we get closer to the season here. Like you said, a lot of new pieces. People may be a little bit uncertain, but with uncertainty comes opportunity. Could be a real surprise season for the Titans here in 2024. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it.
The NFL Team Preview Series is sponsored by Boom Fantasy, your top choice for daily fantasy sports action. Boom Fantasy has the most innovative games that cater to both casual and hardcore fans. Win up to 500 times your entry only at Boom Fantasy. Download now on the App Store and Google Play. Use promo code FTN to get a no-sweat bonus up to $100.